6.1 Review of the coordinate system. Don't forget the date. Woot woot. It's important. And don't forget to put your name. Mine is Tara. Before we actually go into the nuts and bolts of this coordinate system, I just wanted to take a few moments to go through the history of it a little bit. Now, the first guy to come along, his name was Euclid. We have even a grade 12 math contest named after him. He was a pretty important dude. Now, he conceptualized of something called the Euclidean Plane. So 2 dimensions, but also if you think about it in 3 dimensions. So it would be kind of like the third axis. So this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. The third would kind of like pop out of the page a little bit. And as you study mathematics, especially at the university level, you're going to be able to conceptualize of this 3-dimensional space. Now, there are a whole bunch of different ways that Euclid or people using Euclidean plane could describe a point. They can describe a point using a vector. So it's talking about the distance between the origin to the point or between 2 points. But this guy right here, okay, this Mr. Descartes, let me just highlight his mustache a little bit. This guy, Descartes, really revolutionized the way that we describe the address of the point. Now, Descartes not only was a really intelligent mathematician, he was also a philosopher. He's been attributed the phrase cogito ergo sum, which means I think, therefore I am. But when we're talking about Descartes, in a mathematical context, we're talking about the Cartesian plane. So we're talking about Cartesian coordinates. The address is always going to be that horizontal position, comma, the vertical position. Or we're going to get our x-coordinate and our y-coordinate. Now here's the thing. Maybe before we've only been dealing with the first quadrant, but x's and y's can be both negative and positive. So there are 4 quadrants in a Cartesian plane, and this is how we describe them. So this specific point right here, if I were to use my x's and y's, I would describe this one as 5, comma 4, because it goes 5 in the x direction and it goes up 4. This right here is the origin. It always has the coordinate point of 0, 0. However, if I were to put this point right here, that point right there would be -6, 1. Now here's the thing. Some people are going to describe that as 1, -6. Okay, they'll switch up these 2. But 1, -6 is actually down here. This is 1, -6. So you can see that the order, the x and the y, is super important. Because are we talking about this point, -6, 1, or are we talking about this point, 1, -6? So in summary, what I want you to walk away from here is x coordinates and y coordinates. This describes the address. Of a point on a grid. Okay, x's always come first, y's always come second, so x is always horizontal, y is always vertical. Alright, so there is no math at IXL that I want you to be working on, but here are 2 connect the dot activities to help you practice your coordinate skills. Woot woot! Come and grab 1 or 2 pieces of graph paper. You'll need 1 piece for each puzzle. So here's puzzle 1. And here is puzzle 2. Practice that up. And come and grab a mastery check when you're finished. Now, mastery checks on this kind of a skill will require you to get 100%. So you're going to have to get 5 out of 5 on this mastery check in order to move on, because it's such a fundamental skill to the rest of this graphing unit.